Hello and welcome everyone. This is Constellation Connections. In this installment, we're going to be traveling to the constellation of Leo the Lion, and specifically we are traveling to the portions of the lion that have the stars Regulus and Adhafera. Now Regulus is located in the heart of Leo, and Adhafera is located in the forehead or the brow of Leo. And that's sort of called the sickle of Leo that encompasses Leo's head and heart. And you know that the heart is very close to where Leo still has a very big heart and a very warm heart. Now there are 12 signs of the zodiac, and there are 28 mansions of the moon. When the moon is in specific mansions, and when the moon is both waning and waxing and also new and full, you can use these mansions to activate the lunar angel, the lunar mansion angel. And the one we're going to supplicate for help is H.O.A.F. And the one that we're going to ask for assistance, we're going to ask for healing, encouragement, curative powers, therapeutics, again, healing. So you want to utilize this in a receptive way when the moon is decreasing, and in a projective way when the moon is increasing. Therefore, if you want to draw healing to yourself, you do it when the moon is waning or decreasing in moonlight. And if you want to help heal someone else with their permission, then you want to go ahead and do that when the moon is waxing, when it's going up. Because the constellation of Leo connections of the stars Regulus and Adhafera occur in this lunar mansion. And this lunar mansion is a mansion that occurs each month. And so there'll be a different phase of the moon each month when you can activate that lunar mansion that you want to utilize in a certain time when it's most active and viable because of the lunar frequencies. So when it's waning, it doesn't mean you're losing anything, it means you're receiving things. And if it's waxing, it doesn't mean you're gaining things, it means you're giving. You're projecting and healing energy or giving things. So instead of seeing it as decreasing and increasing, you can see it as also concealing and revealing, but you can also see it, which is a better way to see it if you want to get these great effects from it, you can see it as receiving when the moon is waning and giving when the moon is waxing. Because sometimes you do need to receive healing as well as giving healing. And there are times when receiving is very important. And there are times when giving is very necessary. Now, it's interesting that the lunar mansion called Leo's brow or Leo's forehead and heart in English is called Al-Jaba in certain cultures when it comes to other cultures that are more in the Middle East or in the East or in the Hindu areas and the Muslim areas and the Islamic areas. It's called Al-Jaba in some of those. It's given other names in other parts. Isn't it interesting? Al-Jaba. Al means the. Now Jaba, that's talking about the brow of Leo. But what you want to understand is that these things work symbolically as well. And if that were not true, healing wouldn't take place under certain conditions. Think about it. If you go to a doctor and he or she is not wearing a white jacket and not having a stethoscope around their neck and not using medical terminology and not having certain smells and aromas of like healing medicinals and alcohol and things like that and betadine, if you didn't smell those smells and see the sights that you see when you go to the doctor, it wouldn't work as well, because you wouldn't be getting the magical incantations of the words that are from Greek and Latin. These are called the barbarous languages of evocation. If they don't have their stethoscope and they don't have their white lab coat, it doesn't work as well. And that's because it doesn't activate the healing inside you. If you don't think that medicine and getting well involves magic, it does. This is the very science, the art and science of magic. It's just a different word for the same exact thing. Now, if the pill that the doctor gives you doesn't have a specific name, and if the pill is in a certain shape and a certain color, and the pharmaceutical company doesn't have a certain logo and a certain name, it doesn't work as well. So this is what you have to understand. And it is magical, it is symbolic. You can call it advertising. We like to call it magic because that's the ancient name for it. Now, what you want to understand is that Al-Jaba, the word jab, have you gotten the jab? Talking about the COVID injection, the inoculations, talking about the vaccine and the first and second shots and the boosters. Have you gotten the jab? Have you been healed with Al-Jaba? Have you been healed with the jab, Al-Jaba? This is not a coincidence. This is advertising, and this is magic, and it is ancient, and it works, and it heals. These are ancient secrets, and they work. And just because you know about them, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It still works. It still works because the symbols are ancient, and they activate portions of your inner consciousness, your inner mind, and your inner consciousness. So you need to understand this, and you need to understand that another thing to utilize during this mansion of the moon, which is called Al-Jaba, or Leo's brow, the brow or the forehead and the heart of Leo. What you need to understand is that when this mansion is up, you need to also gaze upon the image of a lion's head. The image of a lion's head, because that's the sickle where you have Adhafera and Regulus. That it involves the head, because the heart is very close to the head in Leo, in the lion. So you want to look at that image, and you want to know that that image will bring you great healing. And getting the jab, that's why they call it that, because that helps heal. And that's them giving and you receiving. So when the moon is waxing, you want to be the one giving the injection. And when you're receiving, you want to receive, you know, when the moon is waning during that mansion of the moon. And if you want to know when the mansions of the moon occur, then I would suggest that you get my favorite book is Mansions of the Moon, a lunar zodiac for astrology and magic, 2nd edition, with 2019 to 2033 Mansion Ephemeris by Christopher Warnock, published by Renaissance Astrology. If you want to know more about lunar mansions and more about the angels of the mansions, get 3 books of occult philosophy, Llewellyn Sourcebook series, authored by Henry Cornelius Agrippa of Nettisham, 1533, edited and annotated by Donald Tyson, published by Llewellyn in 2000. And you got to get, if you want to know about how the stars affect you, your health, your family's health, how it affects you, your riches, your relationships, your love life, your family life, for good or for bad, and you can make it good if you know about it and you know how to work with these energies. You can make it all work for you. You have to have the book, The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology, authored by Vivian E. Robson, Bachelor of Science in 1923, published by American Federation of Astrologers, Inc. Thank you, and join us again next time.